Bravery, before the sun learned where to rise each morning. Before the winds memorized the paths between hills, the savannah already had a rhythm. It breathed with the grass, whispered through the acacia trees, and moved in circles older than memory itself. Every creature knew its place in that rhythm. Every creature except one. His name was Aaron. He was born beneath a sky heavy with stars. On a night when the moon hid behind clouds as if watching quietly, the pride celebrated his arrival with gentle rumbles and proud smiles. A new cub meant hope. A new cub meant strength. A new cub meant the future. But from the very beginning, Aaron was different. While other cubs cried loudly when they first touched the world, Aaron barely made a sound. His eyes opened wide, calm and curious. Zeps, he were not frightened at Albert listening. The elders noticed. So did the wind. Strange cub, one lioness murmured. No, said another softly. Just quiet. As Aaron grew, that quiet never left him. The other cubs practiced pouncing on beetles and roaring at shadows. Aaron watched them from a distance, his tail wrapped neatly around his paws. He studied how the grass bent before the wind arrived. He noticed which birds fled first when danger approached. He remembered paths others ignored and sounds others dismissed. When the cubs climbed rocks to roar at the rising sun, Aaron stayed below, listening to the echo instead. The pride did not understand him. A lion must be loud, one of the young males scoffed. A lion must show strength. Another added. Aaron never argued. He simply lowered his eyes and kept listening. Deep inside, something ached not because he wanted to roar, but because he wondered why roaring mattered so much. His father had once been a respected leader, taken too soon by a sudden flood. His mother raised him with gentle strength, but even she worried. A night, she would watch Aaron stare at the stars instead of sleeping. "What do you see up there?" she asked once. Aaron hesitated. "I don't know," he said. "But it feels like they are watching us too." She smiled sadly. "Stars don't choose kings." My son Aaron didn't answer. He didn't need to. The savannah began to change when Aaron was still young. The rains came late. Rivers shrank. The once lush Pride Valley slowly faded into brittle gold. Hunger crept into conversations. Patrols went farther. Tempers grew shorter. Still, the pride believed strength would save them. Strength always had. The elders trained the strongest lions, preparing them for leadership. They roared louder, fought harder, and argued more fiercely. Each wanted to be heard above the others. Nor noticed Aaron slipping away at dawn. He wandered farther than he should have, following patterns only he seemed to see. He memorized the land, learned which rocks held shade longest, which roots hid moisture beneath cracked soil. He listened to the stories the earth told when no one else was speaking. One evening, as the sun bled into the horizon, Aaron climbed a small hill he had never reached before. The wind there felt different, older, heavier. It wrapped around him like a presence. "Why are you here, little one?" The wind whispered. Aaron froze. "I was listening," he said, unsure why he answered aloud. The wind sighed, circling him gently. "Then you are already stronger than most." The sky darkened. Stars emerged one by one, bright and patient. Aaron felt something stir inside him, not fear, not excitement, but recognition. "What am I supposed to become?" he asked. The wind did not answer directly. "Not all leaders are chosen by noise," it said. "Some are chosen by silence." The words settled deep in Aaron's chest. When he returned to the pride, no one noticed his absence. No one noticed the way his eyes had changed. Days passed. In weeks, the drought worsened. One night, panic broke through the pride like lightning. Strange shapes moved beyond the borders, thin, desperate creatures driven by hunger. They were not powerful, but they were many, like the strongest lions prepared for battle. Roars shattered the night. The cubs cried. Confusion spread. Aaron stood still. He listened. And what he heard terrified him not the invaders, but the pride itself. Fear was louder than reason. Rage drowned out thought. The strongest lion charged without waiting. Chaos followed. The invaders were repelled, but at a cost. Several were injured. The pride was shaken. And worst of all, fear lingered. That night, the elders argued until dawn. "We need more strength," one said. "We need to strike first next time," another insisted. No one spoke of planning. No one spoke of unity. Aaron sat near the edge, silent. His mother glanced at him, worry in her eyes. "Haran," she whispered later, "why do you look as if you were carrying the weight of the valley?" The savannah did not sleep that night. Even when the stars stood still and the moon climbed high, the Pride Lands remained restless. Hyenas laughed in the distance, their voices thin and cruel. The wind carried the scent of strangers, and the earth felt uneasy beneath every paw. Aaron lay awake, jet. His words echoed in his mind the moment he had spoken before the pride. The surprise on their faces, the dismissal that followed. Had not expected praise, but he had hoped for understanding. Instead, he felt heavier than ever. At dawn, the pride gathered again. The elders stood atop the central rock, their shadows long and sharp. Food was scarce. Tempers were sharp. Trust was thinner than the dry grass beneath them. "We must move," one elder said. "The Pride Lands are failing us," another replied. Murmurs spread. Fear hid behind anger. Aaron listened. Moving meant danger. Unknown lands. New enemies. But staying meant slow death. Before Aaron could speak, a roar cut through the air. It was Kero, the strongest lion of the pride. His mane was thick, his voice thunderous, his confidence unshaken. "I will lead," Kero declared. "Strength is what this pride needs. Follow me, and no enemy will dare approach." Many nodded. Strength felt safe. Strength felt familiar. Aaron felt the wind brush his whiskers. "This is not leadership," he thought. "This is noise." The elves agreed to let Kero lead the scouting party. The pride would follow once a path was secured. As the sun climbed, Aaron watched Kero march forward with a group of powerful lions. Dust rose behind them like a warning. Hours passed. Then screams shattered the calm. The scouting party returned in chaos. One lion limped badly. Another bled. Their eyes were wide with fear. "Stare others," Kero growled. "More than we expected." They control the river pass. The pride erupted in panic. Without water, moving was impossible. Without unity, survival was unlikely. That night, Aaron's mother approached him quietly. "You see more than the others," she said softly. "But seeing is not enough anymore." Aaron swallowed. "I'm afraid." "So, was your father?" she replied. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's choosing to stand anyway. Those words stayed with him. Later that night, Aaron returned to the Hill of Wind and Stars. "I don't want to lead," he confessed. "I just want us to survive." The wind swirled around him, stronger now. "Leadership is rarely chosen by desire," it whispered. "It is chosen by necessity." Aaron looked toward the dark horizon. "What if they don't listen?" "Then you listen harder," the wind replied. The next morning brought disaster. The river's source of water was blocked, not by beasts, but by fallen rocks, loosened by drought and time. Panic exploded. Cubs cried. Lions argued. The elders shouted orders that clashed and collapsed into confusion. Caro roared, demanding control. Aran watched a cub stumble near the rocks, nearly crushed by shifting stone. Something inside him snapped. Not anger! Resolve. Aaron ran forward. Stop! He shouted. His voice cracked, but it carried. The pride froze. Aaron stood between chaos and fear, his chest rising fast. The rocks are unstable, he said. If we rush, more will fall. We need to move together. Caro laughed bitterly. And who will lead us? You, Aaron, met his gaze. I will, he said. If no one else can. Silence, you. Even the wind paused. The elders hesitated. Then, one stepped forward. Let him try, the elder said. We have nothing left to lose. Aaron didn't roar. He directed the strongest lions to stabilize the rocks. He sent the lighter ones to lead the cubs away. He remembered every path, every shadow, every warning the land had whispered to him. Slowly, it worked. Water flowed again. Pride drank not just water, but hope. That night, something changed. Not everyone trusted Aran, but they watched him. And watching became listening. Yet danger had not passed. For beyond the valley, the true threat gathered an alliance of scavengers and exiles driven by hunger and rage. They had seen the pride weaken. They planned to strike. The stars flickered uneasily. Aaron felt it. The wind warned him. The test has not yet come, it whispered. When it does, silence will no longer be enough. Aaron looked at the pre-dressing, hopeful, unaware. For the first time, Aaron wondered if he would need to roar. And the thought terrified him. The savannah changed its breath before the danger arrived. Birds fell silent at dawn. The wind no longer played gently through the grass. It rushed, urgent, as if trying to warn every living thing. Even the ground felt tense beneath the paws of the pride. Aaron stood on the highest ridge, watching the horizon. He had not slept. For the warning had come in the night, not as a dream, but as certainty. Hunger had driven the exiled scavengers together. They were many, desperate, organized by bitterness and guided by nothing but survival. They were coming. Aaron turned back toward the pride. Lions rested close together now, no longer divided. Cubs slept near the elders. Hunters sat alert, eyes sharp. They were waiting for him. The realization struck Aaron harder than fear ever had. They trust me. Aaron felt the weight of every life behind him. He remembered the quiet cub he once was, the one who listened instead of roared, the one no one expected anything from. That cub still lived inside him. But so did something else. The wind rose behind him. Now, it whispered, you must speak so the world hears. Aaron gathered the pride. 2. The sun climbed slowly, painting the pride lands in gold and blood-red light. We will not attack in anger, Aaron said calmly. We will not scatter in fear. We stand together. Protect the young. Hold the high ground. Do not chase. Do not break. Caro stepped forward, his powerful frame tense. Why should we follow you? He demanded. This will be a war. Aaron looked at him not with challenge, not with doubt, but with understanding. Because strength without purpose destroys itself, Aaron replied. And because this land still believes in us. Something in Caro's eyes shifted. He bowed his head. The ground trembled before the enemy appeared. They came like shadows, poured from the earthen bodies. Sharp eyes, desperation carved into every movement. The laughter was harsh, broken by hunger and hate. The pride formed a wall. Aaron stepped forward. The first clash was chaos. Dust exploded, teeth flashed, bodies collided. The savannah shook with snarls and pain. Aaron moved not as the strongest, but as the calm center of the storm. He guided, redirected, shielded. But numbers pressed in. A cub screamed. Aaron turned and saw Caro fall. Surrounded. Fear surged. The pride faltered. For the first time in his life, Aaron felt rage. Not wild, focused. He climbed the highest rock as the battle raged below. The wind wrapped around him like fire. Aaron filled his lungs. And he roared. The sound tore through the valley, not loud because of force, but because of truth. It carried fear, hope, command, and promise all at once. It echoed against the hills. It rolled across the grass and rose into the sky. The stars seemed to answer. The pride frozen surged forward as one. Unity replaced panic. The invaders faltered. Caro rose again, renewed by the sound. The tide turned. When the dust settled, the savannah was silent. The enemy fled. The pride lands stood. Aaron stood alone on the rock, chest heaving, his roar still echoing in his bones. The elders approached. "You have done what no roar alone could do," one said. "You listened. Then you spoke." Caro knelt before Aaron. "I was strong," he admitted. "But you were right." The pride gathered beneath Aaron. The wind whispered one final time. "Now you understand." Aaron looked at the sky. "I do," he said softly. He did not claim the title of king. The pride gave it to him. Fear. From that day on, Aaron ruled not with fear, but with wisdom. He taught that silence is not weakness, that listening is a form of strength, and that the greatest roar is the one used only when it truly matters. And when cubs asked how he became king, Aaron would smile and say, "I listened long enough to know when to roar."